The low-income inner-city neighborhoods, obviously there's barriers. Some of those neighborhoods are unsafe compared to some other neighborhoods. Parks have been taken over by gangs, etc. I mean, it's unlikely you're going to have a pleasant nature experience in a park where you're finding hypodermic needles on the ground. As well as the fact that schools, by cutting back on nature programs, cutting back on recess, cutting back on field trips, are not giving these kids even the opportunities that they used to have to get out of inner city, low-income neighborhoods and actually see some nature.
I think in the black community through the 60s, 70s, and 80s, there was this move away from agrarian, away from rural, away from the land, away from nature, because you wanted to be cool in the city. You wanted to be a city sophisticate. And so the ethic of getting in the outback maybe isn't valued as much, but I think that's coming back.
How can I justify going to my neighbor's house who's struggling to pay rent, single mom, and tell her you need to get your kids outside, when she doesn't even know where rent is going to come from in the next month. Those are real issues that people have to worry about, and I think sometimes we take it for granted that a lot of the people who praise our connection to nature have the luxury to have free time and connect with the outdoors.
If you have an inner city person in the middle of the city, surrounded by concrete, and with video games conveniently nearby, and parents really working hard to make ends meet, it does take an extra effort on the part of those parents then to expose those kids to the outback. So I go back to parental responsibility. Parents have to be responsible in exposing their kids to nature.
In San Diego, where I live, a study was done of the inner city kids in San Diego and found that 95% of them had never been in a boat. 90% of them did not know how to swim. And 34% had never been to the ocean, and they're less than 20 minutes away from it. Now that may sound outrageous, but I've been in lots of cities around the country where they report something very similar, whether it's mountains in Denver or whether it's the Atlantic Ocean on the East Coast, or even in places like Florida. I mean, you would think in San Diego, a resort city, the kids right next to the ocean would have that experience, but they've literally, some of them, never seen it. They may have seen it in the distance, but they've never touched it.